Every day people wasting hours manually reading invoices, forms, PDFs and scanned documents. Copy-paste typing, checking errors again and again is very hectic task. Every organization today is drowning in documents, PDFs, scanned forms, invoices, certificates, emails. Humans still read them manually. Copy-paste, verify, correct and repeat. This is slow. This is expensive and this is where most automation project fails. Stop wasting time reading document manually. What if document could understand themselves? What if one system could extract text, understand meaning, apply logic and give structured data automatically? That is exactly why Document Field Extractor was built. Document Field Extractor automatically read PDFs and images, extract key fields using AI and OCR, and give you clean Excel or JSON output all on your own system. No cloud, no limits, full control. This is Document Field Extractor. Document Field Extractor work with PDF images, scanned files, even handwritten documents. Behind the scenes, Document Field Extractor combine OCR, AI model like ChatGPT, custom rules and Regex logic, all working together to extract the exact field you need. If you want fully offline processing with custom rules, DFA support that too. You can process one file or thousands of files in batch, generate Excel, CSV, JSON or searchable PDFs, and even track every document using a built-in tracker system. The best part, your data never leaves your system, no cloud upload, no third-party storage, and no per document cost. DFA is built fully for individual, business, enterprises and automation team who want speed, accuracy and full control over their documents. I have combined all the DFA use case and use guide in this video. This is going to be a long session covering all the use case of DFA. Either original document processing, OCR output, Google OCR and Tesseract usage, ChatGPT-based field extraction, rule-based and custom logic, final structure output, debugging the AI extractions error, understanding OCR limitation, and how we can trust on this too. It includes all the documents type, invoices, forms, KYC, document AI workflows.
Welcome to the session of Document Field Extractor or Smart Data Extraction tool. As the name said, this tool is capable of transforming any kind of image file, PDF files or media files into the form of Excel, right? So we're gonna cover here the basic feature of this software, what is the capability of it and how it fit in your daily life use cases. So suppose you have any image file or PDF file or multiple page PDF files. You want to transform that into the form of Excel. So when you type it manually, it has a lot of chances of errors. But when you automate and you ensure that your logic is correct for the automation, you will get more accurate result and it will save a lot of your time. So typing it manually is definitely a hectic task for us. So example, this is the image file. So you want to get the name of the user, the vehicle name and model number and all the details here. So how you can do that? So first we produce more than 4 to 5 kind of output from this. So this is your input here, and so this software has output as a searchable PDF. So here you can see you can copy paste the data from this PDF file. From this PDF file, which was earlier given as an image file. So we have transformed this file into the form of PDF, and we can copy paste the text and we can search it here, or we can type Yamaha and and we can get the data here. The second form of output that we are producing is Excel file. So in this Excel file, you will see that you will have your fields name, honor name, models, and classification. Who decide these fields? We can pass this field from the software config file, and we are looking for those fields, and our logic use those field extraction as a target. So you can see that we had image number 3, and we have all the details here. So the image was, we check the image name, it's image3.pdf. So we have image 3.pdf, and we have Subhajit Sen as the person name here, which is I think here exactly as what is mentioned here, Subhajit Sen, right? And the other output format of this software is, you will see that as a PDF file, which I just show you as a OCR file. You will get the CSV output of this software, and we are storing all the data that we are processing for later processing. So example, if you find some mistake in the extraction, you can correct that later. Let's say there are multiple stages. So once we do the OCR, we are storing the OCR results in the JSON format. This is the OCR results, and this ask.json is the ChatGPT results. You can use your own API for the field extractions. We are using OCR tool that is must for your scan documents for the high accuracy. Once we have the OCR ready, we are feeding this text to ChatGPT as primary API, but you can use your own API as per your use case. So let's say you have any kind of documents, any field of documents. Example, you have your invoices, you have your receipts, you have your credit card data, you have your banking data, you have your law data. This software is capable of extracting the field from any kind of domain. All you have to do is, in the software config file, you have to define the fields that you want. Example, here you have to write a ChatGPT query. So in the ChatGPT query, we given the field name that we want. Example, this order number and all fields. And in the field map, we are going to map the field that we want to dump into the Excel. This will be the column names, right? So there are a lot of features in this software. So we're gonna cover those features in scenario wise later. But the major thing here is that we are doing a OCR of this image files and doing field extraction of this also. If your document is already searchable, then also we can save our OCR processing, and we can directly feed it to ChatGPT or any other tools. So ChatGPT is the primary, as I said. We can use some other API tools that we want. The other API for the extraction of the data and dump it to the Excel. So this software can do the document OCR tasks. So maybe you don't need a field extraction, you just want to digitize your data, that you can do with this software. And the Google Drive support is in the progress, so we are going to add the support so that you can download the file from the Google Drive automatically with your Google Drive ID and contents of your auth ID, and it will process the files and upload the Excel file to the Google Drive location as defined by you. That field we have here for the drive credentials. And so we can use the ChatGPT for the data extraction, so for the field extractions, and we can use our custom logic. So suppose we have a text like this, and we are going to give the text to your custom logic, and your custom logic will return the fields in the key value pairs, and we are going to store it in the Excel file. If you don't want your custom logic, we have a support for an ER, which is Regex. So Regex is kind of expression, so we can write expressions for data extraction. So we know that the date has the date formats, example 2025-07-8. So we can write regex rule for it, and so this is one of the custom logic. So you don't have to write the code for it, you can use the regex for that directly. So as I show you that we can convert a searchable layer that I showed you here, the same image we can copy paste the text. and the Excel file out. So these are the export result format. So we can get the Excel, CSV, and JSON and text file as output, or we can get XML and other formats based on your requirement. ChatGPT batch processing. That means that you can use this tool for process the documents extraction, field extraction in the batches. So there are two things. One is document data extraction. So data extractions mean you have the image and that image has scanned image. So we must extract the data. For that we use our Google OCR tool for that. Once the data is extracted, we feed to the ChatGPT, the text layer, and ChatGPT will give us the results. Or we can use our custom logic as I mentioned earlier. But if we are using ChatGPT also, we can use ChatGPT batch API also. In the batch API, which is lesser costlier than the actual ChatGPT real-time API, so we have a batch API support. And direct ChatGPT. So direct ChatGPT support means for this image, we don't have to rely on Google OCR. We can just give the image to ChatGPT and it will do OCR and field extraction together in one go. But yes, this is very costly operation. So Google OCR is cheaper and it will save a lot of your cost. And the model selection and configuration support. So from the config file, we can give the ChatGPT model that we want to use. So we have the option for the payload. You can define the fields as per your requirements, or you can define the payload's data as per your need based on the ChatGPT API document reference. So it's all configurable. In the future, if there is new ChatGPT model version or some new version of the model, so you can use this payload. You don't have to rely on the next release of the software. The most interesting thing of this software is you will never see your data. We are providing this application as an installer, which will install it in your system and you will run in your system with your data. We don't see it. We are not giving it as an API. So this is all yours. And all result in your system. There is no tracking. So you have a full control and privacy. That is the most important feature of this software. So whatever it takes an hour for you, this app will do it in minutes or seconds. That is the most important feature of this software too. So thanks for watching. We are going to cover the setup and installation part in the next session. Thank you. Hi, welcome to this session of Document Field Extractor Installation and Setup Guide. So once you have this link for the document Field Extractor installer, you will be given a password for installer too. Once you unzip the file and you prompt for the password, you enter the password and you install it in your user-defined location, your application will look like this. So this is the application files, and we are packaging the setting file which is called Config.json to control the applications, and this is the main file document Field Extractor.exe, which is used to launch the application. And we have a DFA, this HTML file, which is a manual how to use the software. So there are multiple ways to launch the application. The preferred way that we should launch the application is using terminal. So instead of double click, we can just go to the path here, empty area. We can just click over here and just type cmd, because if there is some error in your executions or something, we can see it on your terminal. Otherwise it will close. So example here, I give the exe name here, I hit enter. It asks for the license key here. So you will be given a password and the license key too when you install the application. So the license key is nothing but a wallet, and it will look like this. So you have a wallet folder that will be given to you. So you have a kind of zip file, you will unzip that and you will have the wallet folder, same as in the location where you have your application installed. So example here, you should have a wallet folder. So once you have a wallet, this application will start working on processing of documents. So here I have opened the manual which you saw that in the application here. So when you open the manual, So in the last video we have covered the basic feature. So that example, this application will run continuously in a watcher mode. It will continuously look for the input folder in some time interval or kind of cron jobs, and multiple format of the media file is supported, and dynamic field extraction is there. If you don't know the fields that you want to extract from the image or file, it will decide itself. This is based on the settings, which is part of Config.json. We'll cover that later. The plugin support we have, so we can use different AI tools for data extraction and batch processing for ChatGPT. This is ChatGPT batch API, and object detection support is there. So you can suppose you have some data or input file which is kind of the medicines. Example, you have some file as, I go one step back, here you have some image here, or if the image is combined, example, if you have images as this and you want to create a separate image for each of your strips here, that is called object detection. So we will find out the image sections, the strips, and we will create a separate images for it and we will dump into the Excel file. So here we are storing the medicine, batch codes, expiry dates, producer, and manufacturer. So config settings, to control the applications, and we can also use multiple ChatGPT models based on the payload that we have defined in the config.json file. So this is the ChatGPT payload, different for all the models. So to start the application, we need the popular tools. That popular tool is we are using for PDF related parts. So this is important for us to install. We have given all the information in the manual how to set up that in the ChatGPT token, which is needed for your field extraction. So the field that you want to extract by the ChatGPT on already OCR. As I mentioned in the last video, we are doing a Google OCR for the image to text conversion. Then we are passing the text to ChatGPT, and that text is given as output of the fields key value pair, and we are storing it to the Excel. If not required, this ChatGPT is not required if you're using your custom logic. Example, if you're using your own API or your offline logic, your own logic. Suppose if you have a line number in your invoices somewhere, the format is same, and you know that the line number 1 is having a date field, line number 2 is having the cost of the invoice. So you can use a custom logic or any other API you want to use a part of ChatGPT. Regex you can use. You can research about the Regex, how we can use. So in the config file we can define a Regex setting, so we don't have to write a custom logic. I will explain later in the config section part. So these are the prerequisites for it, and for each prerequisite we have given a link. So for the popular utils, we just need to download this popular utility as a zip file. Just unzip the tool, and once you unzip the tool, you have to go to your environment variables in your system, and you have to go the environment variables, click on your path, then click on your edit button, and then you will see here I have given my popular path here for the bin location. So this is how the path will set. So once the path is set, you will click on apply button and OK button. To test that your popular is set up, you can try any of the popular utility. Example, here I'm using PDF Unite. So PDF Unite is working, right? There is no error. So it is giving a help page here. So in your case, if it is set up, you will see like this. If there is an error, it will say no external command found. So this is the way to validate that. So whatever I showed you, it is all explained here how to do step by step. The next thing is GPT API token. So for ChatGPT, if you have your account open, you can go to this link, go to the dashboard, and then it will just click on the new secret key, generate your key, and make sure to enable your billing. So once you have a ChatGPT token there, in the billing section, you have to add your credit card information and all you have to set the features. It's all manageable from the ChatGPT portal, and you will find a lot of YouTube videos how to do the billing and how to configure that. So once the billing is there, you will go to your application config.json file. In this config.json file, we have the option for your ChatGPT token. So you have to add your ChatGPT token here, the line number that 23 for GPT tokens. That is for global all the ChatGPT tokens in your system. I mean for all the application features. We have multiple ChatGPT features, so this is global credentials. So you can type your token here, the token string that you have. A part of that, you have to give the ChatGPT token at line number 27. Here you can define your ChatGPT token too. The next part is Google Vision API, which is used for OCR. So you can see the Google Vision pricing, how it works. So basically, it will charge one rupee for your 100 pages. So for 1000 pages, it will charge around 8 to 10 rupees. So for the new user, Google provides 300 free credits. So in $300 in India, so it's like 26,000. So you have your 26,000 free credit in your system. So you can approximately process more than 1 lakh files or more than that in free. And after that, it will start charging like 1 rupee for 100 pages, which is cheaper. We can use open source tool for the OCR, but the accuracy is low. So Google Vision has highest accuracy for the documents of any of the language or region. Now to obtain the key, the step-by-step instructions are there. How to enable the key, and you have to look for this Cloud Vision API, and you have to enable it. Once it is enabled, then you have to create your credentials here, and we have a link for Google Vision API setup, which is a kind of the blog. So everything is given here, and that will happen for the setup. So once your setup is ready, please make sure to enable the billing as for the Google Vision API. In the billing, you can add your payment method. So once everything is done, you have to create an API key, and from the service count, you have to click on the add key, create key, and you have to choose JSON. So JSON file you have to download, and you have to copy the JSON file in your install location. Like here I have installed it, so you can keep your .json file here. So example, in my workspace, I kept it here, and I have given a path for Vision API credential as Vision cred.json file. So here, this is my file name, which you have downloaded. Same for you. So once this is done, the next part is installation. As I showed you how it installed and how it looks, and how to validate that, and so how to process it your first document. So here the setup and installation part is covered, and once this is done, you can run the application. So I'm using my developer setup. So in the developer setup, I can just run my Python script to test the application. So here I'm running this application, and I have wallets and license configured. So this is the documents. It is already processed, so it is taking like for 6 seconds. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching this session. In the next session, we are going to cover the config.json setting part. Hi, welcome to the third session of your executing your first document or processing your first document ever. So when we deliver the application installer or zip file or deliver the application, we are providing a basic setting file with the software. With this setting file, we can do a very minimal changes, and this setting file will ensure that it will do OCR of the documents, and after the OCR, it will feed the data to the ChatGPT, and it will extract those fields and dump into the Excel file. This is the basic flow of this application. We are going to cover that in detail later, but quickly we're gonna cover how to test your first document ever. So we have given in the manual clearly that first you need your ChatGPT tokens that you have to add it in your system, in your config setting file here. And the second thing is your Vision API credentials, so that we need to define it here, line number 3. And the most important thing is your Windows path. So how this application understand what document to process. So we have a media storage location here, media storage location. So this is the folder. So in my system, I have this folder with this name. So you can see that I have a folder named check. So in this folder, I have created a hierarchy of the files. So let's say in this check folder, I have created multiple folders. You cannot keep your files open here. So you have to create a folder. Example here, this is my underscore check folder as an input folder. Inside this, I have a Ritesh folder. Here you can keep your file open. You can create a multiple nested subfolders. That is not a challenge. So example here, I have a batch test. In this again, I have a subfolder. Here is my invoice file. So this is kind of joint invoice file. You can see that page number 1 and 2 is combined here. So in my application, I have given a check as a folder path, and if I have a folder at somewhere place, you have to give the folder path accordingly and make sure that, example, I have a folder in some check location and some test one. This is my input folder, and inside that I can keep some whatever the file is there inside the check folder. Example, it will scan all those files. We just need to keep the path till the check folder where you want to keep your files inside those folders. And make sure to add // because you are using Windows, and Windows understand / for the path I have given here clearly. So this is the one thing that we need to change is media storage location. This is our input folder. So you can see that we can't keep files directly inside the input folder. We have to create a folder called like invoices. So this input folder is same as your underscore check, just like this. And this input folder, you can keep it anywhere in your C drive or somewhere anywhere else. This is up to you. So this input folder has invoices, bank data or certificates, or inside the invoices we can create some more folder. You can keep the files here. It is up to us. Now the next thing is result storage location. So first is media storage location, where the application will read the input. So this is the input folder, and this is your output folder as result storage location, where all the result will be stored. So in my system, I have the result storage location. So this is my result storage location as results. So all the outputs that I dump is my result folder. So you can see that this is my result folder here, and it will maintain the same hierarchy whatever the input hierarchy I have. So example, I have check stage. This is my batch test and my folder name, and have multiple files maybe. Then the output result will be same hierarchy, right? So it is easy for you to locate the results. So once that is done, we are all ready to process our first documents. So yeah, running the application, as I mentioned, we can use document Field Extractor exe in the previous tutorial, or we can do it from the command line. How we can run it, I have given instruction in detail. And so yeah, we're going to start our processing of first document. So when you process your documents, we will generate one tracker file, tracker, tracker.json. So in this file, we're gonna track everything what we are processing. So example, we have a file name with this empty12.jpg. So this is my file name. I have already completed that. This is in stage 4. So when you install first time, there is no file. So in your input folder, once you have configured everything, just run the application, it will start processing it. After the processing is done, you will see the file like stage 4. Now I will run my first demo. So here I'm going to start the application. It will do nothing. It will run it and sleep for 6 seconds. How it is sleeping, I have given a watch interval in my config settings for 0.1. So 1 means 6 seconds. To run my documents, I am changing this file stage to 2, and I am going to delete the results. So here is my folder. One step back. I am going to delete my PDF folder, which is my output, my HOCR results, and my CSV file. These files I'm not deleting because I have already done OCR on it, and I have already done a ChatGPT query on it. You can see the ask.json file. This is my ChatGPT results already done. So I'm not going to process it again and again. As I told you, you can do your corrections if you want in your data. That is a different thing. But yeah, this is already processed, so I'm going to run it directly. I have changed the stage to 2. So stage 4 is final done, all done. Stage 2 is OCR is done, and ChatGPT is done. Maybe if the ChatGPT file is not there, then it will use ChatGPT again. So it is in stage 2. I'm going to run that now. You can see that my result folder is empty. There is no PDF and CSV folder here. So I'm gonna run this again here now. So you can see it has done the processing very quickly. So it has processed the folder, it has created a PDF file, you can see here, and the PDF file is same searchable version of my image that I have here was the image. So this is the searchable version of the image that I have in my input folder. And same way I have my Excel file output. So my Excel file output. So this is the Excel file. So you can see the fields that we have got from Excel, and we can search those fields in the PDF file also. It is taken from there only, so we can search the fields. So this is how we can process our first document, and we are getting our result in the Excel file, CSV file, JSON file, PDF format. And especially the stage is stage 2 for automatically. So in this tutorial we have covered how you can process your first ever document using ChatGPT and Google OCR and transform into your Excel file quickly. Thank you for watching this session. Hi, welcome to this session of command line arguments. Our application have the command line arguments. So we have record and replay as is the only command line arguments, and other is to run the application in normal mode. So example, I can run the application as in the normal mode. Here example driver.api and mode as if I don't give any mode, it will guide me what is the right parameter that we can pass here. So mode I want to run in the normal mode, then I can run as a normal mode here. Or if I don't want to give anything, it will automatically run normal mode. And you can do the same thing from your installer exe here. So I have given the mode example, but I didn't pass any settings, so it will give the same option. So I'm just doing it from here because it's my dep setup. So I hope that will not cause a confusion for you. Now let's cover about this command line option. So what is record? Record means that we are recording something, we are storing something, or we are keeping track of something. And replay means we are playing whatever we have recorded. The record HEIR is here is hierarchy, right? So as I told you in the last session that we have input files in some hierarchy, like this input folder is checked and we have Ritesh. This is the, so you can see the hierarchy Ritesh, then batch test, and we have a file and folder inside that we have files, and the output also we have a same hierarchy maintained. So you want to record in the same hierarchy, that is the record here and replay. Now what is record and replay I'm talking about? I will tell you. So once your data is processed, it is done. So you have to clean your input folder. So example, this is your config.json file, and you have your media storage location here, right? So once your data is processed, it's stored in the result folder, and once it is processed, you want to move all the files. I mean, you want to you have your multiple folder. Example, in the check folder I have in the result folder I have a lot of folders, and if I go to multiple folders, I have multiple PDF files or results, right? I have multiple PDF files and results. So it is difficult for you to copy paste into one folder. So this is what the recording does. Recording is going to store all the files whichever is done or processed in a one folder, which is predefined folder. The name of folder is workspace. So in your application folder, look at installer location, look for the workspace folder. So in the archive, we have a final Excel from all of your input folders. Wherever you have file in any hierarchy, we are going to save the file in that master.exe, and we have a backup file as an archive for other things. So suppose your application crash in between, so our crash means your system got down or some shutdown or some other issues are there, we have a backup file here always. So the example of record and replay here is, so example, in the tracker file I have this file is done, right? So we want to record this file in our location, right? I mean, we want to record, so the result of this file will be stored in the workspace, and this file will be moved from the PDF to this workspace. So I mean, the searchable PDF file will move to the workspace. If by chance there is no searchable PDF file, then the original image will be moved. Why? Because it will save your space, right? We are keeping the file in one location, and it will be easy for you to track whatever the file is processed. Example, here we have 1000 files, so we have 990 file is done, so we are moving the 990 file into some other folder, or the PDF, or we can say we are moving the searchable PDF, so that you don't have to copy paste or filter that. So whatever file is left, that means it is not done, or you can see that from the tracker to the stages 2. So here I am running example my driver.api, and I am running the mode as record. So this is without hierarchy. So you can see that it has copied the data into the workspace folder. If I go to here in the processed, so processed means processed. This is what record does. So it has copied all the data from multiple hierarchies. So you can see in my input I have this Ritesh folder, and here I have multiple folders, but it has subfiles, and the same way in the results. But this result folder has this record has processed all the output into the one file, which is without hierarchy. And if we want to replace, so example, this is my fifth invoice with empty12.pdf file. This is searchable PDF. You can see that the output we have. And if I go to the results, I don't have that PDF. So example, I will go to this back to this folder. If I go to the batch desk, this one, you can see the PDF is empty here. Right, I will go back, and from the terminal I will just run replay. So replay will keep my file back to those places wherever it was earlier. Suppose you want to reprocess them again, you can replay them again. So here in my PDF I have my file back, and in my processed folder in the workspace the folder is gone. And same applies to the hierarchy. In the hierarchy, we are going to store that in the workspace folder in the same hierarchy and replay in the same mode. So I hope this tutorial is clear to you. Thank you for watching.
Hi, welcome to this session of scenario-based config updates. So what is scenarios? So as this software is capable of extracting the data from any kind of media files or documents to the Excel format or searchable PDF or CSV or JSON, but there are multiple ways to achieve that output. One output that we have covered in the video session, which was process your first document. So this process your first document means we have packaged the config.json file in the installer. That config.json file is ready for the market solution, where most of the demanding requirement is where you have some invoices or any kind of documents, and you can just simply give your input query or prompt and give you the Excel fields and everything, and you have to just give your media storage location and result storage location, and you have to give your Vision API credentials and ChatGPT queries there and ChatGPT tokens you have to pass. The next thing you have to pass the ChatGPT token here and API key. That's it. So this is a simple requirement, and everything is described very detailed in this video. Now there are other scenarios. I would have spoke about custom logics, Regex. We can use some batch ChatGPT. All these are multiple scenarios, right? So these are the scenarios which I'm talking about. So I just gonna help you how you can configure it. The flow is same. So example, once you have configured the configuration, so how to execute it after setup and installation, how to follow the configuration for different scenarios, you have to do that, and how to start the application from the terminal is already covered here. So scenario is first is what we have delivered in your installer. This is where we are using Google OCR and GPT API. That's it. And we have clearly mentioned what are the fields to change in config.json. And for each fields we have some requirement which is given in the prerequisites that you can follow, and the videos for that same. So this is your first scenario that is covered, and second scenario is where we have real-time extraction from images using ChatGPT Vision API. So in this Vision API, what it means? So in here you can see we are skipping the Google OCR because we are using only ChatGPT Vision API to do all the tasks in one go. But yes, cost varies because it's image, and we are passing this image to ChatGPT. It's gonna take a lot of time. It's gonna take a lot of tokens, so it impact your costing. Time budget is very fast, no issues. It's the same almost. It depends how simple you want to keep the use case. So here I have given simply, ChatGPT authentication token you have to give, the fields map you have to give, what are the fields that you want to extract, and the ChatGPT query. So ChatGPT query is not required in this scenario. I have given it very clearly. What we need is you just have to give your ChatGPT token, and you have to mute ChatGPT as true because we are not using simple ChatGPT, that it means. So it is true. In field map you are passing this information. In the use vision, okay, so if you search for this field here, you can see vision is allow is false. You have to set it as true, and model name you can give it here. Here we're gonna give it a query. So we are just simply saying this is the image document and you have to find this and blah blah fields, and this is the instructions that we are giving. That's it. We have given these things, we have filled this section, you can map it, and you can just fine tune your tokens. Tokens mean input and output. So collectively your query to the ChatGPT and the output is called tokens. So based on the token it defines the usage or billing. So once you follow these settings for scenario number 2, once it is done, you just have to run it. That's it. You will get the results for the new documents. So this is the scenario 1 or 2. One we have covered, so this is scenario 2. Here is the custom logic. So in the custom logic, so there are two ways to use custom logic. Okay, there are 3 ones. So one is regular expressions. So if you search for regular expression maker, right, so it will make a regular expression for you. So if you search for the example, this is just a site example. So you just have to give a instruction. So example, paste a simple sample text like this, and it will generate a regex for this, right? So this is a regular expression for it, right? So you can copy the regular expression and you can find it into the fields. So okay, so example here for regular expressions, we are using Google OCR for data extraction. ChatGPT query is not required. Field map is also there. Sorry, this is for scenario 1. So since we are covering the regex, so let's go to point number 3. So in point number 3, I have clearly mentioned that using how to use regular expression, you just have to add the field mapping, the field that you want in the Excel, and for each correspondence field we have defined regex. Example, for batch number, for MRP, you can give number of expression. Like for one expression, it is the first priority. If it doesn't give any results, we can just try the second one. So in that way, you don't have to reuse the ChatGPT. It is offline. Only Google OCR we need if it is a scanned document. Otherwise, it is a searchable document. So this is for regex, how you can use it, and these all settings are there in the config file. So example, in the config file, it is there. You just have to fill the data here. That's it for each and every field. So first was using custom logic. So for custom logic, first of all, this is must. So vision API we are using if it is a scanned document. If it is a searchable PDF, it automatically skip that and it will don't use Google OCR either. ChatGPT query don't need because we are using regex or custom logic. Field map will change accordingly based on the requirement, and you have to specify the field, of course, if it's not dynamic. Use ChatGPT is true, use custom logic is true. So use custom logic for NER. So NER is name entity recognition. So use custom logic for NER. For NER, we have custom logic. I think that field is all one. We have not. It is not in use. You can just simply view the ChatGPT. It will automatically use custom logic. So using plugin file, so very simple we have given. So search for the plugin file. So for the plugin file, you can define your Python file name. So here is a Python file. You can give the full path or wherever the file is located in your system, and that's it for plugin. And so as I said earlier, this is must. This is common for all the custom logic types. Once it is defined, then update your Python file, and then you just in your Python source code, in this .py file, just write a function run. This is must, and this is argument that you're gonna pass it to your function while calling. So we're gonna call this run function, and inside that we're gonna pass the text content, and this is your logic internally. Now inside your file, you are writing this main function. You will call some Azure logic or any third-party ChatGPT or your custom logic even. You can use your own code, and we are expecting return response as a field. What is return response? So return response is basically the fields that you have defined. So in the field map, what are the fields that you have described? Just return that field in the dictionary format. Or if it's a dynamic logic, then you can pass whatever you want, so that will come in the Excel as a result. Second one is using document specific custom logic. So this is basically from the application side. So sometimes the requirement is you want installer as inbuilt plugin, so that you don't have to configure it all. So in that case, when it is enabled, so plugin file is not required, so you can just type your domain. So the domain is basically whatever we have implemented internally. So we tell you, okay, this is an invoice docs. So for invoice docs internally, we have a source file. It will route to those source file to get the results instead of relying on the ChatGPT. And this is regular expression, as I explained earlier. So everything is covered in detail here, and I hope that will help you set up the scenario number 3. So the next scenario is batch API. So for the batch API, batch API is, if you search for ChatGPT batch API, it is batch API which run in the backend for 24-hour window. So in the normal ChatGPT API, you will get the results on the spot. But in case of batch, it will give results within 24 hours. That is why it is cheaper than actual real time. There are 2 types of API. One is vision. So vision means you can just pass the image directly, and the second one is using normal. We OCR it first, and then we pass the text to the ChatGPT for processing. So in the vision, you just need to give a ChatGPT token, the field map. So basically, what are the column you want in Excel, and ChatGPT query is not required here because we have another section, as you can see here. For the batch API, we have allow as, you have to set it as true, which is given here clearly. Once it is true, so we have to update your settings called the query. Like this is the query we have to pass for the result. So this is the image content, and we are clearly mentioning that what we need here. So for batch API, you have to fill those data. So this is true. And for vision, if you want to use the vision API, you have to set vision as true. For text, you have to true. So text means we are doing a Google OCR as earlier, but then we are passing the text to ChatGPT. But for vision, we are just setting it to true directly. So based on that, we have to update the token here. We have to this payload is basically from the ChatGPT API document reference. We are not adding it from our side. So it is same. You will get to know that where to pass the model name, what the query to be added here. So it's the image. So other things we are going to pass internally. So I have given it very clearly here what data you need to update here, with what. So for the vision, you can see clearly what I have given here. I just pass the model names, I just pass the tokens, and I just give the description. That's it. So all the data, image, and local URL will be set internally based on your folder scanning and the runtime tasks. And this is for text based. This work on text. So we have to extract the text from the document. If it is scanned document, then we need to OCR it first. Otherwise, we can do it directly. We don't need OCR. So we have to run the pipeline using custom logic on searchable PDF or images. So as I explained earlier, 5.3. So if I go to 5.3, we have to follow the 5.3 pipeline first. Suppose if you have bulk document in 1,000 or some large quantity, just follow one of this approach. Once it is done, we are back to this, and once we are back to this, we have then searchable document ready. Now we have to run the pipeline again. So how we can do that? We have to update batch API settings, and we have to update we have to apply basically this config. You can see that, and we have to modify the response prompt and all. And ChatGPT query we need to add in the prompt, right? Before running the file, delete tracker file and CSV folder in the results. So once you do that, so example here in the CSV here, if I go back, if you delete CSV and tracker file, so we are not deleting these files. These are Google OCR results files. So we're gonna reuse it again, but to only get the text, and we're gonna pass the text to ChatGPT for the backend processing for 24-hour window. So that's it. So it will keep on scanning, and it will show the result as same as it. So with this, we have covered almost all. So let's jump to the next scenario. Okay, we'll cover that later. So let's go to 5.9. So generate dynamic fields. So generate dynamic fields mean so you know that we normally define the field map. We define the field to be added in the Excel, right? So if you see the field map here, we're gonna define the custom fields here. Sorry, the field names to be have a column names. But sometimes there is a situation we don't know what field to extract. We don't know we want key value pairs from that page. Example, there's a paragraph or summarization or some big invoice document. You don't know what fields you need. You need everything, whatever you fit. Okay, whatever you can give or give me. So AI know better. That is where you have dynamic key value extraction. So in that case, you have to keep the field map empty. You can add a new setting called dynamic key value. So when you add it as true, our software will automatically look for those fields in the document using AI. So basically we are passing text to the AI and AI will figure out what field we need. Or you can use your custom logic as defined in 5.3 section. In the custom logic also, when you set this as true and it is empty, you can pass whatever dictionary as a return output and we're gonna store into the Excel. So dynamic field, that is what dynamic fields. So in the real-time GPT setting for the dynamic field, okay, we have to change these settings, and we can split the query. So basically this dynamic field is clear. Now the next thing we split query in setup. So sometimes the query is very big and ChatGPT token limit exceeds. So in that case you can define the limit. So example, you want to split and you can define the query in 10 lines. For example, you have 100 lines in your query, so you can make a 10 request one by one and make a one row of the result. So this is splitting in. So this way you can save your tokens. I mean, it will keep your results output complete instead of partial. Sometimes ChatGPT has limit, right? So that's why it's based on your document size, how big is your content of the image text. Yeah, everything is defined here very completely. So yeah, so generating a dynamic field for custom logic, as I explained earlier, field map, that's it. And based on your custom logic, you will get the fields. And for the Metermaid, enable and load balancing. So this is not a scenario, this is a feature in our application. So whatever scenarios I covered, that is a different thing. This is just a feature. So suppose when you apply for ChatGPT token or Google OCR token, they have their own monitoring. You can set your triggers or filter that after that 10k document or 10k API request don't process anything for controlling your credit card and all consumption. At the same time, we can do it from our application. So we have Metermaid and load balancing. So Metermaid is nothing. We are tracking all of your ChatGPT or Google OCR requests that you are making, and we are ensuring that in that particular time frame you are calling that number of requests that you have configured. So basically it's nothing. Go to the balance script and in the config.json and set it as true, and once it is set as true, so you can define a number of requests that you want to regulate. So here in Metermaid setting, it is true. Example, in the Metermaid setting you can define so example, in the real-time text, real-time vision API, batch text, you can define the numbers. Example here, Google API, document OCR, we are going to support only 10 requests per day or maybe. So that means, for example, for this Google Vision API, you can check for the Google API here in the section of settings. So first thing is, in the main Metermaid setting, we have to change the limit of the query. So example, for real time, how many requests we can make, same for Google API. Then in settings section, you can just set as true, and then in the session duration, look for your feature. Example, for Google API, we have set for document OCR. Then same thing, Google API, look for the document OCR and define the days. Example, for 1 day, 20 hours. So you can define the number of days or hours or minutes or seconds you want to control. You want to allow this API to be used. So example, for the Google API, if the duration is 30 days, then for 30 days we can only run the Google API for the given requests. Example, here we can only run 10 requests in a month, or based on the days or whatever we have defined, or seconds. So once this is exceeded, it will be blocked for that particular time, and after that time is exceeded, it will refresh again and you can use it again. So let's say your 30 days is passed. After that next 30 days, it will automatically refresh
and it will allow again. The next thing is balance credential. So balance is if it is true. Balance means, so whatever the credential that you are giving, you can give multiple credentials. So example like this also. So multiple credentials mean you can API will use either this one or this one in the random manner, or basically it's for using multiple credentials so that it will not utilize only one quota of your API. And same for the same applies to the ChatGPT. So for the ChatGPT, you can give multiple ChatGPT tokens here. So you can pass multiple as a list, so it will use that. If balance creds is not true, it will first use your first preference as this credentials. Once this quota is over, if you have another credential configured, it will start using it. But in case of balance credential, it will use both randomly. It will utilize both credentials at the same time. So here it covered the overall scenarios, and this is the overall scenarios and all of them, almost all the features that application has. So here we have covered scenario-based configurations. So thank you for watching. Hi, welcome to this session. So we have covered almost all scenario-based config. You are running your first document, setup and installation, configuration guide. A part of that we have covered almost all, but a part of that there are some configuration settings which is used to control the application or defining, cleaning data and all. So those settings are defined in the section called DFA configuration and meanings. So we have defined each and every setting. Whatever is covered, also whatever not covered, we have given the meaning for each and every setting. So there are a lot of settings. We have covered all for the scenarios, but there are a few which is used based on the requirement and which is mandatory also. So for each and every setting, we have defined the use case which you can follow. It will help for the better understanding. So as the name explains, I have given example of what value to be passed and what it means. And example, self-cleaning ChatGPT ask on stage 2. So what it means, so suppose you have done a ChatGPT processing, but you find some results issue and you fine-tune the prompt, but you want to run again. So you change the stage 2 in tracker, but when you change the stage 2, by default it will reuse the previous result of ChatGPT instead of querying it to save your quota. But when you enable this setting, it will delete the previous response automatically internally. You don't have to delete the file or move the file to somewhere else or clean this results. It will automatically take care of it. That is what it means. For Google OCR, there is no need. It always accurate. And yeah. And high operation timeout in seconds. So we call some third-party API or we use command line operations. So sometimes system performance causes delays or stuck in problems, or API is taking too much time or network issues. So we can configure a timeout for that time frame. It will log out. If that exceeds, it will terminate. So it will keep your document running for whichever is processed, or whichever is not processed, you can check it later. And PDF management settings. So we are using multiple library to split the PDF into images. So you can use one of them. We have defined here in our Config.json file this section where we have using popular. You can set allow as true, and you can use autonomous mode also. So but you can define one of them. So if you want to use popular, then you can set it true, and other you can set it false. This is how at the one time we will use one. So this is the main logic. So you can use any of the two library for splitting images. So each of the library doing the same task, but sometimes the PDF document are sometimes it's proprietary format, sometimes it is complex. So some like popular sometimes give problem maybe, so that we can switch to another application. But this is very rare case. And this autonomous mode means if it is true, we don't have to worry about enabling them, right? So you can enable all of them maybe. Yeah, you can enable all of them. And if one fails, it will try another. This is what autonomous mode. And this is image in image mode. So example, you have a PDF file and you have multiple pages in the PDF and you want to combine those. So example for a scenario, we have this image, which is this one. So example, this was the PDF file, but your PDF is continuous to second page. So you want both pages. So, and this is, for example, you have 100 pages of PDF. So that will way we have 50 invoices. Each invoice is of 2 pages. So that way we cannot do multiple query to ChatGPT because it is difficult to relate the roles. So that is why we are combining into the one image, and then we are doing a query to get joint results. So this is for what we have image in image setting. So portrait means it will have a portrait, that means in the vertical. If it is landscape, it is in the horizontal. And make batch of image size 2. So it is 2 for 2 images per invoice. So 2 pages equal to 1 invoice. So if you give it 3 or 1, so it's 1 mean 1. So that is clear. So what 2 is for joining them together. And yeah, so that covers all for the images to PDF handling. The other we have is handle PDF by converting to HTML. So sometimes we have a searchable PDF. We don't need to scan it, so we can directly get a text from it. But sometimes you want sometimes the text extraction from the searchable PDF is not in the same format, or you can. So in that case, you can convert into the HTML. You can convert the PDF to HTML, and it is easy to find the code. So suppose if the PDF has already a table in it, but you want it with the Excel, so you can convert into the HTML. That way, you can use a custom logic to find those deep classes and all to get the proper information instead of writing a custom logic very complex. So so one is for HTML PDF to HTML conversion, and other is we are using popular to PDF searchable PDF to text file conversion, but you can use Lumber also, that is by default false. So that way there are multiple settings, you can fine tune them based on, example, deleting the OCR and PDF cache. So once document is processed, you can delete those folders like OCR and PDF, searchable PDF if it is not required, to save your space. That's it. Because once we have Excel file, we don't need them. So, and stop generating CSV and JSON. So our Excel is final result, but sometimes we don't need a CSV and JSON. You can set it as true. It will stop getting it. So that way, there are multiple settings. I hope that will help you fine tune the application. Thank you. Thank you for watching.
Welcome to the next session of this document Field Extractor. We are going to cover the results. How results processed, or how results looks like in this software. So basically we have multiple output formats. So one is JSON file, we have Excel file, we have CSV file, we have searchable PDF. How does it look like? Suppose you have a JSON results. So it will have JSON key value pairs. So example, here is our JSON file, which is in the CSV. We are keeping a JSON file. This JSON file has your key value pair. So same key value pair we are transforming to Excel too. This is the one format, and second is Excel and CSV, and the other one is PDF file, PDF version or searchable PDF, so that you can copy paste from it, as I showed you earlier. Now so this all is covered. So now let's discuss about the hierarchy. So you can see that in your media storage location, right, you have your folder name as input, and in your input you can keep your multiple folder sets. You cannot keep the files openly here. You have to keep a folder, example invoices. So in the invoices you can keep your PNG file, or you can keep your PDF file or whatever, and in other folder or subfolder you can keep your file. So in the results folder location, we are maintaining a same hierarchy here. So output invoices, and here we have ask.json for ChatGPT results. This is the text version of the output of the PDF. So text version is basically, you can see that in the same layout. So this is our invoice data in the text form. So, and here we have PDF results, CSV results, OCR results, that is used for PDF, for creation of searchable PDFs. And this is the other folder. So we are maintaining a hierarchy. Example, this was your input folder. You have a batch test. This is check is the input example. So in the batch test we have 5 invoices with empty. This is my image name. In the output, we are maintaining a same hierarchy. So in the result folder, we have batch test, fifth invoice. Here you can see we have a same hierarchy. We have text file, JSON, PDF, OCR, and CSV. So this is how the results are. And we have a tracker.json file. Here you can see the same file name and the folder path, like where was this file located, and the stage is for mean it is all done, everything is processed. If it is 2 by chance or 3, you will see some other fields called reason or something, failure reason or error, as other fields which explain why this document is not processed. So you can, when you run the application again, it will process again. We have like 4 stages. Stage 1 is input, stage 2 is OCR, stage 3 is OCR done, stage 4 is ChatGPT and Excel dumping. So when you want to run that document again, always move to stage 2. It will reprocess it again. But if this files is already present here, it will not do that call again. It will reuse the data. You have to delete the files, or we have option in our config.json file to automatically delete those files to forget everything and start from again. But we will cover that in config section. And the final thing is master Excel file. So we are storing a result from all the output location. So here you can see in our result folder. If I go to the result folder, I have a lot of folders, right? Each folder is nested, or it has multiple folders maybe. We are storing the result of those folders into one common location so that you can easily access. So here is our master Excel file. This has combined result from all the folders, right? This is always there in the workspace folder. And in the command line section, we covered the record and replay, where I have mentioned that how we can move the file which is already processed into here, this folder, for filtration purpose. So here in this tutorial, we have covered how results are stored, where are the master Excel files, and we have covered some of the other features or in config.json, example how media storage location is mapped to result and hierarchy, or how we can use a record and replay. Thanks for watching this session.
Welcome to the session of error handling and troubleshooting. In this session, we're going to cover how you can handle the errors, how you can inspect and troubleshoot the error, and you will find a solution for it. There are 2 to 3 areas where you look for the errors to inspect the root cause, and we will find a solution for it. And please note, if there is an error in this application or software, the errors is always explicitly error. There is no error from the application side, because application will always be stable when it is shared. So which means we can control or we can fix the error without changing the application or having a new patch. It is all from the server side errors. As you know that we are using ChatGPT or Google OCR, but a part of that, if we are using some our custom logic, example, we have some info extractions. Info extraction like Regex. If we have some Regex support, so we don't need to rely on those APIs, and in that case application logic is internally fine. We will not see these errors if your Regex is fine. So we can mute the ChatGPT, and if it is true, that means it will automatically look for the custom logic. And if custom logic, the same field map is defined, example this batch number and all the column name is, and for those column name we will use this regex expression. You can use online regex expression founder. You can give the text file, or you can give the text portion. It will generate expression for the specific field that you're looking for. You can paste it here, and you can give multiple list of the errors, multiple list of the regex you want to try. So one regex failed, you can try the next regex as a new entry here, like this. If you have not defined this regex here, means if this field is empty like this, so in that case we will automatically jump to the plugin. So in the plugin you can write your Python file, and in that we have a run method. So inside that we will pass a text, whatever is passed from the OCR,
and instead of using ChatGPT, we will use your plugin code, so it is all in your control that way. So what we are covering here is we are using Google Vision OCR and we are using ChatGPT. So in that case, we will see most of the time errors. If we see, it's very rare, but we see error, it is most of the time because of ChatGPT mostly. What is error? So it may be your quota limit is over, your rate limit is over, your some authentication token is expired. These kind of errors are there, and we might see in the empty response in the code. And so if there is error, what area to look for? Let's get started. So first thing you should look for is the tracker file. In the tracker file, whenever there is an error, in some cases we will add some failure reason, which is not the case always, and we will explain why there is error. And second thing is in the stage will be 2, or for the ChatGPT we are keeping a stage 4 intentionally, because if we keep it 2, it will keep on retry the ChatGPT again and again. Sometimes the response is there from the ChatGPT, but result is not expected. It is half partial result, so we are misusing a lot of API requests. So that is why we keep it on stage 4, so that when you see the Excel file, it will be null result or invalid result, so that you can run it separately to inspect the root cause. So that is why for ChatGPT we are keeping on stage 4, but Google OCR, if there is an error, we will keep on stage 2. Now I will show it all practically to you. So you can see when I run the application here, drive.py, you will see that it has not what to do, right? So I did a Control-C here, and in my results, I have already a result generated here. So what I will do, I will delete this backup folder, and I will just move the files here. So I will just move this file. As I told you, these are the cache files. If these files are present, it will not call the API again. So suppose if you have some result issue or something, you can update these files. These are the files that we are using for the result generation. But if those files are not there, it will call the OCR and ChatGPT. So we're gonna go step by step first. So to run this, again, it will not do anything because it is already on stage. There is no work to do. So I will change the file stage to stage 2. Stage 2 means we want to process it again. And suppose you have 1,000 file in your input folder, and you got error in a lot of files. So it is not a good advice to look for the errors for 400 results. Just look for one file. So in the terminal you can look for the errors if you can. Otherwise you can change one of the file to stage 2 and run it separately. So when I run it here, you will see the error. So when I do Control-C, I have intentionally passed the wrong Google API token here. This is my Google API token. I have passed the Google credentials, which is wrong. I know that. So that is why the results are not generated. And here you can see exception count while Google Data API processing. And you can see the stage here, what we are doing, right? So you will see that what is the error here, and you can share the error to the team or admin. They will help you to resolve the error and find the root cause. But most probably the error is only because of the token issue, authentication issue, rate limiting, quota expiry and all. And due to that, the file is not generated. That is the cause. Right, now let's move to the next error. So okay, so you saw the error, and in your tracker file the stage is 2. You can see it's not changed, right? That is the one proof. Now we will keep the Google OCR results back, right? We can use the Google OCR, but I don't want to paste my tokens as my quota limit, so I just keep the Google OCR file here. And this time when I'm running it again, let's see. And this time you can see that when I run it again, I just got the same error. Let me check. Okay, sorry, the file name is 1_2. I was passing the wrong file. Okay, I'm running it again. So this time you can see the Google OCR has passed. So you can see that there is no issue with the Google OCR. We have a text here, but I now give the wrong ChatGPT token. The results is wrong. So you can see that incorrect API key provided, your ChatGPT token, you can find the result. So this error is not from our application, and the previous error also, it is from the server we are calling, right? And server is giving you the right indicator message, and you can follow that link for the more help. And as the message says that there is something wrong with your token, as I said you earlier, whenever there is an issue, it is most probably with your tokens or something. Internally, the application logic is stable. We can fix those issues only from the outside. You need admin help in that case. But see, these issues are external, right? So whenever we set up, or when we use some other third-party website or software, you will stuck in same problem there also. So you have to follow the documentation. But here we have clearly described how to follow the threads and resolve the issue. And here in the stage, you can see it's 4. As I told earlier, for ChatGPT, we are keeping it in stage 4. Why? Because we don't want to process it again. Because this time it's incorrect API, but maybe the API is working for other cases and you will get some results like this, but results is not accurate, right? So calling it again and again, it will waste your quota. So better to keep it on stage 4 and go for the results. When you look at the results, you will know that, okay, this file is not processed, I have to run it again. So example here, in this Excel file, you will see the results is null, right? The null is case when there is exception or errors. So in that case, you can go to your tracker file and change to stage 2 and look for the token or some configuration issue from the OpenAI dashboard and fix it, and then rerun it again. You will get the results. So here I'm gonna place my I move to stage 2 again. Sorry, and I just go to the I'm going to the results folder. Let me look for okay, and I'm going to the backup folder and I copy my ChatGPT result file, and now this time it will use the result from the cache. So this time I run it again, you can see that, and I open the CSV file, and if I see the results, I got my result back as it is. So this is how you can resolve that. So if there is an error, always look for the terminal, what is the exception. So when you scroll on the terminal, you will see something suspicious, you will see something there is error. For example, this is fine. So for the previous case, as you saw, there is some kind of exception in the Python. And the second case, look for the tracker file if it is stage 2 instead of already processed, and look for the Excel file if it is a null value. And as I told you, for custom logic, there is a very less chance for the ChatGPT and Google OCR. If there is errors, it is only because of output server issues, not the application side issue. I hope this clear how we can troubleshoot, and this way we have covered how to inspect and troubleshoot the issues in our application. And sometimes our credentials are correct, our tokens are correct. I have seen multiple times, if your system date and time is not correctly synced with your time zone, and if your location is not turned on, sometimes the Google OCR throw errors for authentication. So always look for that also. That is the only thing that you will get errors. Or if you have followed the setup and installation guide, if that is properly followed and environment variable are set up and everything is there is no errors. Thank you.